Very good morning, my dear student. So today I will going to discuss some program based on the matplotlib. So in a matplotlib, the data visualizations and with some variances of the data, some variables that we are going to use. Let us see what the program is about and how the program will going to work, and what are the thing the program will going to have and how the program can execute. That is also the main thing that we need to see and that we need to find it out. Okay, so all these particular structures that we will going to create an structure, and we are framing it and we are executing that particular part. Let us see how the thing is working and how we will going to get the particular work to be implementable. Now see this particular program. In this particular variances that we will going to calculate, so data variance, what we will going to calculate here. First and foremost, what has been done here, first import Panda as PD. So Panda has been imported here as PD. Then we can find the numpy has been imported as NP. So when these two thing has been done, when we find this particular two structures has been created, what we can find it that we are creating here a dictionary or the data frame. So dictionary that we are creating here, in this particular dictionary, what we can find here, that D equals to first has been given were the different names, that means combinations of some character variables. After combining those character variable, that what we can find that there is a score 1. Score 1 means what, that we are having a different pattern of scores, and those the different pattern of scores as we find it, that there are the scores are there. So like 62, 47, 55, 74, all these different pattern of scores has been taken. Then score 2 has been taken there. In a score 2, what we can find it that there are the different pattern of score 2's values has been taken it here. Okay, so as we find the different type of score 2 values has been taken, then score 3 values has been taken. So this is what we can find it, that one structures has been constructed here. So as we are constructing this particular structures, as we are making this particular structure, what we are finding in this particular structure is that this the particular structure what we have, this the particular part that we are constructing here. We can construct it into a particular series or the data frame series, isn't it? So then what has been done here, you can find here that df equals to pd dot data frame, that d, and print df. Then what has been done, that print df local variable of what, score 1 dot variance. That means score 1 variance, what is the value of the score 1, variance of the score 1, that has been calculated. So this is what you can see here in this particular program, what the thing has been structured here. We can find it that we are importing here the Python Panda. So as we are importing here the Python Panda and we are importing here the numpy here, after the Python Panda and numpy, then what you can see here, the first the thing, that means those the particular thing has been called here, and under that what we can see here, that we are having structures and we are forming that particular structure, isn't it? So as we are forming the structure, that means the data structures that has been constructed here, and we find it that this the particular data frame or data structures that what we are constructing here, that will going to make the particular work to be implementable. Okay, so as we are making this particular thing to be implementable, as we can find it that those the particular thing to be working here, we are working in this particular area, and we are making this particular area to be worked with. So those are the scores that we have find out, those are the scoring pattern that we have find out, that all this particular scoring pattern that we are having it here and we are constructing it here, they are having some certain pattern of the structures, they are having some certain pattern of the working space, isn't it? So as it is having the working space and it has the working structure, in this particular working structures, what we can find it, that we have the particular module, isn't it? We have the particular module and we need to work on that particular module, what has been given to it. So there are the different three sections has been given here, and in this three section what we can find that we are implementing that particular section. We are working with this particular section in such a way or such a manner that we are having the particular pattern, we are having the particular structures, isn't it? So this is the data frame that has been constructed. We are trying to construct here one data frame. So data frame means a dictionary. In this dictionary, what we can say, the dictionary will going to have a lot of values, many values are there. So based on those different pattern of values what are there, we will going to have the structures, we will going to build the structure. Okay, so as we are building the structures, as we are constructing the structure, in this particular structure what we find, what we can see, that there it has got what the different type of scenario based on which we can find it that it will going to have a data and it will going to construct with this data. Fine. So as we are constructing on this data, that means what are the data value that we have taken it here. Data value we can find that we have taken it here is that name. Okay, name we have taken it here. Name is the what? Name is a character pattern of variables. As it is a character pattern of variables, there we have given some combinations of the characters, and as we have given the combination of the characters, we are writing it and we are working on this particular area. Fine. Now next what we have a score 1. Score 1 means what? There are the different values that we are giving to it. So all those different pattern of values that we are giving to it, each and every value that we will going to have, each and every part of the value that we will going to have, we will going to work on this particular area. Okay, next what we are having here, we are having here the different type of scores. Score 2 is been given there, and as we find the score 2 has been given there, then we have given a score 3. Okay, so score 3 has been given. So all this particular pattern or all this particular area, when we are giving to it and when we are making to it, what we framed it, that df equals to pd dot data frame, then we are calling that particular structure of the data frame. So as we are calling this particular structure of the data frame, we find it how this particular data frame will going to work and how we can implement that particular data structures. So print df, what we have given it that variance, and we can specify the column how we specified print df dot log. Log means the local variable. Based on this particular local variable, what is been constructed here, it has been constructed where here one variance on what? Variance of the scores. The scores that has implemented here, the score 1, taking the value of score 1, what we can see, what we can find, that this the particular score 1 that has been taken, there the value will going to be implemented here. Okay, those the values we are going to implement here. As we find it, that each and every value that we are having it and we are implementing it, we can find it out the different patterns of structures, isn't it? We can see that there are the different type of structures that we do have, and we do construct those different type of structures what is there. So all these different pattern of structures, what based on which what we are constructing the data, and we are working on the data, we have to see it that is those values are applicable here or not. Now what we find it that based on the name, though we cannot score the variable. Okay, we cannot complete the variance. So what we will going to have for the variance, that we must have a number. So there we find that there is a different pattern of numbers that we are using here and we are implementing here. Okay, so as we are implementing those number, as we find it that those the number pattern or number series, what we are implementing, see here different type of numbers has been given there. Score 1, score 2 and score 3. As score 1, score 2 and score 3 has been given there, so df equals to pd dot data frame. Data frame is there. Now we are calling this particular data frame and we are working on this particular data frame. So this is the data frame structure. What is there? This is the data frame scenario that we can find it, that we are working on this particular data frame structures, and we are making this particular data frame to be worked with it. So as we are calling the data frame here, what also we have called here the variance. Okay, variance functions to be worked with. So as we have called the variance function to be worked with, that will work with a score. Let us see what is the output that we are going to get from here. Now see the output, what you get the output from here. See here, there is a name as the name column, the name and has been given there. Then there is a score 1, score 2 and score 3. So according to that, the score value is also there. And what we are having here from 0 to 11, isn't it? 0 to 11. Now what the variance we required here? We required the score 1 variance. This is the score 1. So score 1, those the values, what is there? Score 1 values are being added, and adding the score 1 value, the variance has been taken out from here. So this is how we can construct the structure. This is how we can make the structures, and as we can make the structures, we can implement the structures in this particular way or in this particular manner. Okay, so when we are implementing it, when we are making this particular structure, we also find it that those the values that we have given here, those the part of the value that we have implemented here. So in each of this particular value, in each of this particular part, what we are having here, we are making the constructions, and we are having the particular structures to be worked with. Okay, we are having the structures to be worked with. As we find that we have a different type of structures that we are working with, we will going to make the particular thing implementable, and we will going to make the particular work to be workable. Okay, so this is the thing that we can find, this is the thing that we can see, that as we are having the particular structures, as we find that there is a particular pattern is there. So all this particular pattern that we are having it here, we are making it here, we can make those particular pattern of the structures, and we can implement those particular pattern of the structures. Okay, so this is the particular pattern of the structures that we will going to have here, and we will going to make it. Okay, we will going to make it, and we will going to have this particular structures that will going to work on this particular scenario. So this is the thing that we can see, that how we are getting the output and how the output is been implementable. Okay, how the output is implementable in this area. So see here 304.36. so this is the variance value that after the calculations it has been get from here. Okay, so this is how the structures of the variance you can calculate based on the calling the variance function. Now see the another function and programs. So in this particular function and program, what you can find it, this is a particular section sorry, where we have what, where we have the matplotlib, isn't it? So as we are importing this particular matplotlib, under the matplotlib what we are calling here, pyplot SPLT. So pyplot SPLT, as we are calling this particular pyplot SPLT, then what we have, the import numpy as np. Okay, import numpy as np. As we are importing the numpy as np, we find it that xval will be there, and based on this particular xval, what we will going to find here, that there are the different types of array. Okay, there is a different array range has been taken. What is the array range has been taken? -2, then 1, then 0.01. Okay. Now yval, what it has been taken, 1 minus 0.5 into xval, that to the power or into 2. So there what it has been done, that plotted, that means what it is plotting, quadratic equation. 1 into 1 minus half into x to the power of 2, that the quadratic equation, what is there, using that quadratic equation the value is been calculated. So as we find the value is been calculated here, we can plot here the xval and yval is b dash. So b dash has been seen in a blue, that is dotted lines. Okay, blue dotted lines will going to come here. Then we have given what quadratic title of the title. We have given the x level name, and we have given the y level name. So this is the structures what we can find, that this particular structure has been created for what, first and foremost the matplotlib function has been called. So matplotlib function, under this particular matplotlib function, what is the function will going to work, that is a pie plot. So under that dot pie plot has been called here. Next, what we can find, numpy, import numpy as np. So numpy program also has been called here, and based on this particular numpy program, what we can find, that the structures has been evaluated or structures has been calculated. Okay, as we find the structures has been calculated, this is the particular structure that we have, this is the particular structure that we find, that we are having different pattern of the structures, and we can construct the different pattern of the structures. So as we are constructing the different pattern of the structure, each of the pattern of the structure what is there, each of the pattern of the structure that we can have, that we find it, that they will going to work, and they will going to make the series in a particular form or in a particular format. So this is the particular form or particular format that we have, that we can find, that we are having those particular pattern of scenario. Based on this particular scenario, we will going to have a range that will going to call here. Okay, so we are calling a certain range. Range is what, np equals to array. Okay, so there is a starting address, there is an ending address, and there is a gap between them, or the condition what is there has been given. Then what we can find, that there is an y value. For y value, one value has been taken, that a quadratic equation value has been taken here, 1 minus half to the power of x well into x well to the power of 2. So that has been taken, and here plotting has been done what, using the blue dot. So blue dot is what, that blue dotted line will going to come for this particular purpose. Okay, so as this is the designing, you can see this is the designing that has been given to here, and based on this designing we can see it, that how the value will going to work. Okay, so how the value will going to work, there we have given the name of the title of it, that is a quadratic equation, and x value has been given here, y level has been given here. So when we are giving the x level and y level by on this particular two, what has been done here, we have designed the plot, and we have implemented that particular graph. Okay, so this is the graphical pattern that has been done here, then has been implemented, based on which what we find it, that we have called here two pattern of values. What are those two pattern of value? One is matplotlib, one is a numpy. So numpy and matplotlib. Numpy means from the data frame, matplotlib from the graph. So numpy and in that particular matplotlib has been called here to construct it and to run the particular thing in a one systematic manner or one systematic way. So this is how you can see. Let us see what is the output of it. So now you see what the output has been come. What I have given, blue dotted line. See here, this particular blue dotted line is there. As you see, the blue dotted line is there. Based on the quadratic equation plot, the thing has been calculated. So it has started from -2 as it has been given, and it has ended 1. Okay, there are the variance between 0.5 minus will be there, and similarly the value has came here. Or here also we start with -1 and it ends with +1. So as we are getting the values, we can find it that, see, the blue dotted line has been carved here. In this particular blue dotted line, as it has been give the x value and y value based on the quadratic equation phase, the thing has been designed here. Okay, so this is the thing what we can find, that this particular thing has been designed here. After designing this particular thing, we will going to have the structure, and we will going to complete this particular pattern. Okay, so this is how we can use the graph, and we can implement the graph. As we are using the graph, we can find it. See, I have shown you that the variable that we are using, and based on that the quadratic equations that you are using, as per the norms that we are using the quadratic equation, different types of equation for x or for y we have used it, and using that we are getting the particular output. So what is this particular output? Is that the graphical representation of the data that we are using there, isn't it? The graphical representation of the data that we are using there. So what we have here, x value and y value, x value and y value is there, and along with that we design it with a blue dotted line, and another thing is that there the name also been specified here. Okay, so all this designing has been done. So this is what is for today. I am ending my session here. Thank you all.